on the microphone. So we are going to be going into black, but we have a treat here. Originally, actually, this show is not going to be a one-man show. It was going to be a two-person show. The other person had some pressing things they had to deal with, so unfortunately, we've had to do the first two without them, but I'd like to introduce everyone to Crash.
Hi. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Hi, Scott.
We need some light on you.
Do we need some light on me? Is it very dark over here?
Yeah, we need some light.
Okay. Not great. Sure. Sure, that's more light.
It's a little better.
It's a little spotlighty, but that's fine too. We can maybe change that around later.
We're spotlighting you.
Well, thank you. What'd I miss?
You missed white and blue.
How were they?
They were white and blue.
Sum them up in 5 words or less each color.
White. I want to play it.
Okay.
Blue. It was meh for me.
Okay. You met qualifications on both ends, so thank you.
Some people have asked about the music. I can give information on the music later. It's actually a guy who does video game music, and he's let me use his music for my show. I believe it is a guy by the name of Matt McFarlane. I don't have a website handy for him.
You are just chock full of plugs. Maybe you put that later in the notes.
Well, I'll plug it.
No, plug it, but like have information for him.
Okay.
Like some dude did this.
Some dude.
But I don't know who he is, and maybe I'll find out his website.
I'm sure if you do a search for Matt McFarlane video game music, you'll probably find him.
Okay, so that's how you find him.
Okay. So now we are going to move on to.
Sorry. We're going to move on to black, and I'm going to stop touching my microphone so it doesn't fall over anymore. Would you like for me to read the cards?
Yeah.
Have you been talking quite a bit and maybe could go for some card reading from me?
Yes.
All right. We're going to start with black. Alicia's Vanguard, black 3, creature, orc warrior for 3/3. So far, so good?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a hill giant. I'm not loving it.
We have a new. What's it called?
We have a new ability.
Ability. No, it's not an ability. It's a keyword.
Well, a keyword ability.
We have a new keyword called dash. And Scott, can you tell us what dash means?
So, when you pay a dash cost on a creature, you're actually going to pay. It's going to be paying a different cost, and if you do, the creature will gain haste, and it will it's returned to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So
it's an alternate casting cost, a little bit less, and you get it back. So the dash on Alicia's Vanguard is black 2.
And just to make sure it is noted, you are still actually casting the card if you pay its dash cost. So it can be countered. And a particular one in note with this one is that if you pay the dash cost on Alicia's Vanguard, they can still disdainful stroke it. Because its converted mana cost is still 4. Even though you're only paying 3, the converted mana cost on the card is what is in the upper right-hand corner.
So that's going to happen to me, and I know it will.
The only exception on that is an X spell, but in that case, you're defining what X is.
So this thing can still get
Stroke.
disdainful stroked. Can you tell us, because I want to win, as we're going through, when we might want to dash cards and when we might just want to cast them for their regular casting cost?
I think for the most part, you're going to want to dash this thing straight into your sideboard. Like, it just dash.
I like what you did there.
Straight in there.
I like how you did that.
I'm not a big fan of just the Hill Giant to begin with. There's an ongoing joke in my Twitch chat about Mardu War Shrieker.
Shrieks.
I am not the biggest fan of War Shrieker. Like, some people seem to love it in like every deck, and I think it's actually very narrow where it's good. And that's primarily because I feel like most of the time you cast it, it's just a Hill Giant.
So here's what I learned too, because I was reading the set notes. If the creature gets killed, it doesn't come back to your hand.
Correct.
It goes to the graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, the creature has to be in play to return.
Hey, I'm just saying, it doesn't say that on there.
Okay.
I wanted to clarify that.
Fair enough. Yeah, a creature has to still be in play to be returned.
Okay, so you like this as a sideboard card.
No.
You like this as a nothing card.
Yeah, I like this as in your sideboard, hangs out there, doesn't come back
Budrick likes
into
it.
play.
You guys, Budrick is here.
If you're really low on creatures, it is a forecasting cost 3/3. I think its dash is somewhat irrelevant. I mean, you're paying 3. I mean, there will be situations where you'll want to dash this. Be like, I can get through 3 damage right now. You're at 3. But, I mean, maybe if its dash cost was 2.
Maybe there's better dash cards.
You know, there are better dash cards.
There's cards that are more dash-tastic.
I know there are better dash cards than this.
Okay. So, what's next? Scott is not a fan. The next card is a dude choking. Ancestral Vigilance.
I'm sorry. That would be Ancestral Vengeance.
Ancestral Vengeance. I'm off to a great start. Double black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When Ancestral Vengeance enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Enchanted creature gets -1/-1. -1/-1.
Yes. So this is a really...
I like it. I'm on board. I do. It's
tricksy. I feel like the -1/-1 isn't going to kill too many things. Like, you put this on a morph, and now they have a 1/1 morph, which certainly isn't as good. And the +1/+1 counter is nice.
It's fine. It's no debilitating injury, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, debilitating injury is superior to this card.
Well, absolutely. And one of the biggest problems with this card actually is its double black casting cost. Like, you're very, very seldom going to be able to cast this on 2 to kill something early. Like, this is a late game kill card. And for me, late game is not where I want to give something -1/-1 and give a +1/+1 counter to something.
Okay.
I think it's a sideboard card. I bring it in against against those decks where -1/-1 actually can do something relevant. Or if I just badly need counters, like if I'm real counter-centric, then I might bring it in for that.
For a synergy in your deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think either ability is good enough to play double black for.
All right.
So.
Is there ever an instant where you would enchant your own creature?
Possibly if you needed to target it for some reason.
Only if you misread the card.
If you've misread the card, yes.
I was thinking, like,
yeah,
it's anti-Smite the Monstrous. That's a long way to go to fend off a Smite the Monstrous.
Yeah, especially since you can't cast this as an instant.
All right, moving on. Next card. Archfiend of Depravity, black 3, for a creature demon, 5/4. Flying. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures he or she controls, then sacrifices the rest. It's rare.
It's a bomb.
Oh boy. Is that certified bomb soundtrack sound effect?
Yes.
I like this card. I like this card without anything on the middle.
See, now that I have someone else here, I can do my sound effects.
Oh, I think your
bit.
sound effects are awful. I'm ignoring them as if they're not happening. But I think that this is a great card, and I can add nothing further other than I would play it every time, and I would be hard pressed not to first pick it.
Yeah, we windmill slam this. It's, I mean, again, double black if you can support it, but if you have this card, you should probably find a way of supporting double black. I mean, in sealed, if you just can't, I've had really good cards that I couldn't support. I remember when I played in GP Baltimore, I ended up playing an Obzon deck, and I had a Butcher of the Horde
so close
in my pool as well.
One red.
Exactly.
One red, and you couldn't do it.
And for one red, I just did not have the fixing, nor did I have the other good red to justify it, so it stayed in the board, despite it being amazing.
The moral is pick this card.
So in draft, it's a little different because you can take it, but I mean, this may sit in your sideboard of a sealed pool if you just don't have the right fixing, or black support cards. Otherwise, if you can even remotely support this, get it in there. They can't have more than 2 creatures at the beginning of their end step.
Okay.
So, and it's a 5.
Great.
It's a 5/4 flyer for 5.
It's pretty great.
It's.
Yeah. I wanted to say hi to everyone in the chat because we're not necessarily talking to people in the chat, just because we're moving so quickly.
Well, yeah.
But I see a lot of our friends there, so I want to say hi, friends.
Yeah. We have. There's a lot going on in the chat, and for those who are listening to this on iTunes or YouTube, maybe you can catch the next one live with us because
it's fun, and you can chime in, and we can say hi to you.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Now, regularly scheduled programming. Black 1. Let me start again. I'll read you the card so you know what we're talking about. Battle Brawler. Black 1 for a 2/2. It's an Orc Warrior. Uncommon. And it reads, as long as you control a red or white permanent, Battle Brawler gets +1/+0 and has first strike. Okay, Scott likes that card. I like it as well. It's fine even, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's still playable if, it's better than Smoke Teller, even if you don't have a red or white permanent.
Yeah, it's a warrior.
It's a warrior.
It's a 2/2 for 2.
It's better than Elmer.
Its ability is bonkers. 3/2 first strike for 2.
Yeah, the first strike is what seals it, because a 3/2 is fine, but
if there's a warrior deck in Constructed, I guarantee you this guy is all up in there. As a matter of fact, this guy might be one of the reasons that there could be a warrior deck in Standard.
All right.
Every
time he returns from battle unscathed, he feels a tinge of disappointment. Unreal. What I said and your sound were just like ships passing in the night.
Well, it's he got whipped, so he's happy.
Okay, moving on. May I first say, before we get into Brutal Horde Chief, can I swear?
The Brutal Ass Master?
Can I swear? It's a fine piece of ass. And Brutal Horde Chief, black 3 for a 3/3. Scott doesn't like it because it's a hill giant, so we're just going to skip this card. Mythic Rare, creature Orc Warrior. Whenever a creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. 3, hybrid mana red-white, hybrid mana red-white. Creatures your opponents control block this turn if able, and you choose how those creatures block. Did I say that correctly with the hybrid mana?
Yeah. I mean, it's 3 and then 2 red-white hybrid.
2 red-white hybrid.
Yeah, I could hit that explosion button a million times.
Black seems pretty solid so far.
Yes, it is a vanilla hill giant. But just because a card is a forecasting cost 3/3 means does not mean I don't like it. It has to do other things, and this thing does a whole hell of a lot.
And it's a warrior, so we like that.
Yeah.
And when this is on the playmat for GP San Jose, and when I saw it on Twitter, and I clicked on the image, there was just a giant orc warrior ass cheek on the screen. I don't know how they get away with such scantily clad creatures, but I'm glad that it's finally men instead of just women that are scantily clad in the magic realm.
GP San Jose, which I unfortunately am missing to go to Mexico. There are 3 playmats. There's a Siege Rhino, there is a Treasure Cruise, and you have the Brutal Horde Chief playmat. And I have joked that your team's going to be playing rock, paper, scissors to find out which player has to play on the Orc Warrior's ass. Like, when if you're catching this audio, just
Chortle.
Just get the card.
Giggle. Chortle.
There's a reason this guy's mythic. He's
not legendary, so you can just fill up your board with this. I mean, like, I know this is like the best case scenario, but you play like something like you play your Bloodsoaked Champion on turn 1, and you play your Chief of the Face on turn 2, and you play your Marduk Horde Chief on turn 3, and you play this thing on turn 4, and then on turn 5 you're just like, you're dead.
Well, remember that on turn 4 you're playing this thing pre-combat. And then you're swinging with all those guys.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
I think there is a chance that this may be...
Because Mardu is my second least favorite clan at the moment. I think it's the third. I think I rank it 4th out of 5th, and I think that this does a lot to elevate it.
I think there is a very decent chance that this may be the... when the prices settle, this may be the single most expensive card in the set.
Why do you say that?
Because I think it may be the best card in the set. Like, it may just be like constructed and limited.
You guys heard it. Best card in the set, constructed, limited, Brutal Horde Chief.
Like, the only thing that concerns me is that it's a 3/3, so it can get bolted.
Can get bolted.
Or, well,
it can
strike.
It can get throttled.
Well, no one's playing throttled and constructed. I'm kind of.
I thought we were primarily focused on limited.
Oh, we are. We are.
I didn't know we had switched gears to constructed.
On a scale of 1 to 10 in limited, this guy is a 74. Play him. Like,
and I like
the first ability of whenever creature you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life is ridiculous in of itself. The second ability, like, is game changing.
Yeah.
Like, you can make all of their creatures block your 1/1.
Oh yeah, and then you can awaken the bear. Nope, not going to do that.
Probably not in those colors.
All right, not going to do that. And I think we're belaboring every single card at this point, but I will say that I like this cycle that does this. I like this only second to the Jeskai dude.
Oh, I think this guy is significantly...
He's better, but I think the Jeskai dude will be more fun.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think the Jeskai dude is going to see playing constructed, and I think he's an incredible bomb, too.
The Jeskai dude. I think that's what the card says on the top, too.
Yeah.
All right. Play it. Good job.
Yeah, I'll belabor this thing to death.
Don't belabor it.
This card's ridiculous. Every format... Well, almost every format, but like standard, constructed, limited, windmill slam that thing.
Play it. Crux of Fate. Black 3 for a sorcery, rare. Choose one. Destroy all dragon creatures, or destroy all non-dragon creatures.
So we have a version of Damnation back. It costs 1 more, and it's a little modal.
I'm seeing a lot more of the cards require double casting cost than in cons.
Well, yes, because cons was such a multicolor set, they wanted people to be able to cast their cards. Now that it's not as multicolor,
They're gonna make you commit,
Yes, which
which is bad for you because you love the 5-color deck. So if you have to commit to a clan,
I do.
you might just shrivel up and not die, because I don't think you would die if you had to play 3 colors. But
I mean, it'll have to depend. I
you'd
mean,
be diminished.
even in a 5-color deck, I've been known to go with 1 or 2 colors that have double casters in there. I don't
Okay.
like it as much.
I like this card and I play it.
Oh yeah. There's no reason not to play
You
this
play
card.
it in your main deck.
Yeah. Yes. Obviously. Yes. This card is ridiculous. It's going to kill. More often than not, it's just going to wipe the board.
Especially though, if you happen to, I think the best situation is if you have a dragon, because of I don't think there's a preponderance of dragons yet.
Well, this set
It has dragons.
has more dragons than any other set.
Okay, but we're not. I would say there's more non-dragons than dragons. So
Well-
this is almost like if you have a dragon, it's like a Dune Blast
Yes.
for 2 less.
Yes.
So that's my
Um,
hard hitting analysis of Crux of Fate.
yeah, I think more often than not, it's basically going to be a version of End Hostilities, or it may just be used if your opponent does happen to have a nasty dragon on the board that you have no way of dealing with. You might just destroy all dragons and basically kill it.
And there are nasty dragons.
There are. We've not gotten to them yet.
We'll get to them though. What do we got next? Dark Deal. Black 2, sorcery, uncommon. Each player discards all the cards in his or her hand, then draws that many cards -1.
Where was this card when I was doing a draft earlier?
This card is stupid. Like, what's the point of it?
Well,
I mean, it's Sultai. I get that.
I'll say this. I'm making a note of it because I did an MTGO draft and had some of the most ridiculous luck ever. Like, I'm on the play and I was a 5-color deck. I had all of my colors and a kill shot. So I kept. And it wasn't until the turn that I was going to die that I drew any spell, period.
So
I drew nothing but lands.
You would have liked this card on the off chance that you don't draw any sorceries.
I was at one point, I was 11 spells, or 11 lands,
Okay,
one
no,
spell.
but seriously, for the edification of people who might be watching or listening, when would you ever play this card?
I think Sultai is going to like this card. I think this card is...
Because you can control when you discard, I suppose.
And as a reminder, it's not you, it's each player.
Yeah.
So if you know your opponent happens to have something nasty in their hand, maybe they've been dashing.
Oh.
Dark Deal?
Goodbye, Dash.
This is...
All right.
This is definitely one of those where I said up front that there are cards that are very situational.
Yeah.
This is the definition of a situational card.
Yeah. Hey, and I'm looking at the art. What is that guy handing? What is the Minotaur handing the cloaked guy? Like, it's blue and it's glowing. Do you think it's like...
It might...
is that like what goes in...
1.21. Yeah, but
card?
1.21 gigawatts.
High five.
Oh my
We both
gosh.
got there.
We were going there on Back to the Future
you
at the
guys.
same time.
Oh, chills.
1.21 gigawatts.
All right. I don't think I would ever put this in my main deck.
It would depend on my main deck. There are decks I would absolutely put this in.
I don't play Sultai, so I would not put this in my main deck.
I'm willing to play anything. So if the deck was right, I'd play this.
Okay. Diplomacy of the Wastes. Black 2, sorcery, uncommon. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. If you control a warrior, that player loses 2 life. And I like the flavor text from Alicia, who smiles at death. Our emissaries are gifted negotiators. She's funny. She has sass, and I like her. I think Alicia's cool. Yeah, it's like a despise, but more expensive.
It's a Thoughtseize.
But you don't pay 2 life, and you can maybe gain 2 life.
Correct.
Do you play this?
Well, no, you don't
limited?
gain 2 life. They lose 2 life if you have a warrior.
Oh yeah, I should read the card. It's right in front of me. I mean, I just think, do I play Thoughtseize or Despise or any of those in Limited? And I usually don't.
Well, Despise is more narrow, and
Okay, I know like 2 cards. That's all.
I would be willing to play this in a warrior deck just because of the second one. Because even if you whiff, for some reason you completely whiff,
You get to see their hands.
and they still lose 2 life. Like,
And they still
you
lose 2
with,
life.
They have no cards in hand, and they're at 2. You go Diplomacy of the Wastes. Good game.
Okay, that's too like situationally there. Like most of the time, I'm not going to be happy to have this in my hand.
I think more often than not I am. Just because, again, more than likely you're going to be in Mardu of some form because you're running warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You're already going to be kind of quick. And
This is going to be a 14th pick in every draft I do. Like, people are going to take the foil land over this. My stomach is gurgling. Excuse my stomach. My stomach was so vehement on that point.
I'm honestly aghast at what she just said.
Really? I don't see it. I don't see this. Like, I just think there's so many more better cards.
I don't think this card's going to go past
Moss
6th.
better.
I don't think it's going to go past 6th normally.
Okay. We will agree to disagree, which means I'm probably going to be found wrong because you're better at this than me.
Being able to strip the best card from your opponent's hand and deal 2 damage to them. Now, again, if you're not playing a warrior deck, you're probably not going to run this. Unless you need to board it in against something nasty. Like, oh, look, they have a planeswalker. We need to kill it. All right.
Okay. Douse in Gloom, black 2, instant, common. Douse in Gloom deals 2 damage to target creature and you gain 2 life.
I like Douse and Gloom the first time it was printed. I like it the second time it was printed.
I'm on board.
It's kills morphs.
And I like, again, not to be a total Vorthos, but I like the flavor text here. I mean, it's a little on the nose, but we're not talking. This is not flavor text set review. This is just card review.
Well, if we go into flavor text, then we're going to be here forever.
Do you think this is going to be the next debilitating injury? Pay 1 more, but as an instant.
Yeah, this card is.
It's common too, so this thing is going to be all over the place.
I think it's mostly better than debilitating injury.
Yeah.
The life gain is not necessarily irrelevant. The fact that you can do this as a combat trick, stacked on. I mean, like I said, I liked Douse and Gloom the first time it was printed. I like it this time.
Excellent. Fearsome Awakening. Black 4, sorcery, uncommon. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If it's a dragon, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
Oh, so we have a reanimator here. I think the dragon part is not necessarily going to be super relevant.
Hard pass. I don't like this. I mean, it's slow for sealed. Like, could you ever imagine playing this in a draft?
Yes.
That's a very qualified yes. I think that we skip this one and we
leave
it to people who want to do things on turn 5.
Okay. So now I'll talk. If you've got a good discard method, or you're playing things like maybe Rakasha's Secret, or things like that might mill a very large bomb you have into your yard, this could potentially be good. You're going to need multiple large creatures that typically are going to cost more than 5 to cast for this to be good, or a dragon or 2. I think it is very situational, but I think there are definitely situations where it's playable. I think on the whole, I don't like it. I don't think it'll be good and sealed too often. I think you'll find some draft situations where it's fine.
Okay. I stand chastened. Ghastly Conscription. Black 5, sorcery, mythic rare. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard in a face-down pile. Shuffle that pile, then manifest those cards.
Good God.
At 7, you like it?
I mean, if it's 7, it better be really damn good, especially since it doesn't have Delve.
Is there ever a time when you would use this on your opponent?
Oh, absolutely.
Like how?
I'm probably going to use this on my opponent more than I'm going to use it on myself.
I'm not understanding. Like, explain it to me then.
Okay. So you choose a player.
That's what the...
And they're... Well, I'm explaining. So if you have 3 cards in your graveyard and your opponent has 15 cards in their graveyard, you're going to target your opponent, exile all 15 cards in their graveyard, and get 15 manifests.
Oh, wait. You can pick their graveyard. I'm confused. I'm not following. Why would you want to give your opponent 15 2/2s?
Because your opponent doesn't get 15. You do.
Why do you do it? It doesn't say.
Because it says... Okay. I need to make sure that everyone is clear on a rules thing. Whenever a card mentions something coming into play, unless it specifies it's coming into play on your opponent's side, it's coming into play on your side. We had this question earlier.
Hey, can you guys see the steam coming out of Scott's ears right now? Because he wants to smack me for not knowing that.
Well, and there was a question earlier about the blue card that bounces and puts a token into play. They're like, well, if you bounce your opponent's guy, then they get the token. No. When it comes into play, it comes into play on your side. Same thing here.
Oh yeah, and we did have a clarification. It's only creature cards. So
yes,
you would pick whoever has the bigger number of creatures.
Yes, exactly.
Unless you're doing something specific where you are, I don't know, wanting to delve stuff.
Yeah, you're
okay. So this is good. We picked this and we like it. Oh, and look, it has the little symbol on there for manifest. The little blue.
Yes. Because it's manifesting a bunch of stuff. I think this is a far better sealed card than it is draft. 7's pretty slow for draft. But at 7 mana, I like to play cards that can win the game. And this absolutely qualifies as a card that can win the game.
You know what this is? This is like a prehistoric villainous wealth. No?
No.
Okay. Grave Strength. Black 1 sorcery, uncommon. Choose target creature. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each creature card in your graveyard.
It's good.
Yeah.
This card's great.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're counter-centric, but I mean, it's okay early and it can be ridiculous late. Like,
yeah, this isn't something you want in your opening hand.
Like you have a Sultai Scavenger or some random flyer that's, I mean, anything, Alabaster Kir, and any flyer that's maybe pinging them late game, and then all of a sudden, awesome! We have another follower.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
Super entity.
Again, for anyone who is catching this not on Twitch, that noise means that somebody has followed us, and we think they're awesome.
We think they're awesome.
Yeah, late you could be like, I'll put 9 counters on my guy.
But you also have to pick the creature before they can kill your creature in response.
Yes, but if you're doing it that late, more than likely you're both in top deck mode. So they likely won't be able to kill it in response.
All right. Scott's on board.
I'm on board.
Scott's on board.
I mean, you got to be a little smart when you cast it, obviously. I mean, if you know they have removal, you don't want to cast into it, but...
Oh my. Gurmag Angler. Black 6. Creature zombie fish. It's a 5/5 with Delve. And it's adorable, and I'll play it every time. And it's worse than both Sultai Scavenger and Hooting Mandrills. But look at that smile. It's so happy.
I am very concerned by the fact that you find this card to be adorable.
Yeah, it's super cute. Look at that smile.
That is not really I assure you, if that thing was right in front of you in real life form. Awesome! I love the follows.
Thank you for following. I would pet its nose.
You would not find this.
I love a toothy grin.
You would be running for the hills. This thing is scary as F.
He kind of reminds me of you.
I
have a great smile. So does the Gormag Angler.
I'm going to somewhat disagree with your assessment that this is worse than Sultai. Well, I think it's worse than Sultai Scavenger. I don't think it's necessarily worse than Hooting Mandrills. It costs one more, and it's a 5/5.
Yeah.
I'd probably have to be pretty delve centric if I want to play this.
Yeah, because you have to. You don't want to cast. I mean, you want to cast this on like
No. Actually, I guess maybe the opposite. Maybe not delve-centric.
You want to cast it at 5 to make it like you're happy to cast it at 5.
Yeah, 5 casting cost 5/5 is fine. So if you have too many delve cards, then it's going to be a problem.
We're getting follows all over the place. Thank you guys.
I'm loving it.
So Scott's, are you a fan of this card?
It's meh for me.
This is when we go to
like it's a late. I mean, 5/5s are always good. Like it just depends on how you're able to cast it. Like, are you able to cast this on like 4 mana, or are you casting it on like 7?
I like it. I like how cute it is. Hooded Assassin. Black 2 for a 1/2. Creature, human assassin. It's common. When Hooded Assassin enters the battlefield, choose one. Put a 1/1 counter on Hooded Assassin. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Will you ever use the first ability?
Oh yeah,
Really?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
But 3/2s are just
2 3s.
2/3s are good. I like math. That was actually perfect. Like, normally I think your sound effects are stupid as hell, but that was quite perfect. All right. Tell me what you think about the card and stop trolling me.
The card's very good, guys.
Okay.
It's a 3-drop 2/3, which can block most morphs. Oh, most morphs. It can block morphs and manifests pretty well.
I love the removal aspect.
Oh yeah,
I like that if your opponent just blocks because like, oh, what the heck,
Oh yeah, no, this card's great. This card, destroy target creature who's dealt damage this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Post combat,
Yeah,
kill your guy.
it's good.
Yeah, you know how we've talked about that whole, oh, I'm just sending in my random goblin because I want to trigger raid.
Or am I?
Or maybe I just want to assassinate your guy.
I just want to kill your guy. Very good. Mardu Shadow Spear. Black. It's 1 mana. It's 1 black mana. Creature, human warrior. It's a 1/1. Uncommon. Whenever Mardu Shadow Spear attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. And it has a dash cost of 1 black 1. So it's kind of like an archer's parapet?
No. Because Archer's Parapet, nah.
But you get this thing going on a dash loop and like...
Well, but the problem is it is a 1/1,
1/1.
has no evasion, and can be killed. I
Yeah.
like the fact that it's a warrior in that if you can boost the warriors, now all of a sudden you've got something that's better. But like you can't just randomly dash this into a board. They're going to lose a life and you're going to have a dead Shadow Spear.
So it's not a super good card.
I don't like it very much. I think you're going to have to be warrior centric. I think more often than not, you're not going to want to dash this card because you're going to want to efficiently use your mana to spew out dudes.
All right.
And I just don't see much of the upside to dash unless like your opponent has something weird like a Sorin emblem on the board, and you want a way of being able to get through
Yeah.
without having to sack
If you
it.
have a Sorin emblem on the board, this is not going to be a long game for you.
No.
All right. It's meh. Mardu Strike Leader, black 2 for a 3/2. Creature human warrior. It's a rare. Whenever Mardu Strike Leader attacks, put a 2/1 black warrior creature token onto the battlefield. And it has a dash cost of black 3.
Well, we finally hit a dash card I like.
I like it too.
I don't know if I necessarily like it for dashing, but I definitely like it. I mean,
You don't like this for dashing?
well, it's a 3-drop 3/2, so it's
Yeah.
definitely got the aggressive part. It's a warrior, and when it attacks, you put a 2/1 black warrior creature token onto the battlefield. Now that said, I do think that there are going to be times, especially if you're in kind of a weird like stalemate type thing, where dash it out just to get 3 damage through and put a 2/1 on the board.
Okay.
Like, I think it's definitely more of a late game dash type thing. When you're maybe worried about removal
Yeah.
or sorcery speed removal.
I think the dash is going to be tricky to play.
Yeah, I think this is one of those like
This is going to be like,
you find an opening and you're going to dash through it.
okay.
I don't like the dash mechanic in general.
Are you on board with this card?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on board with this card. Like if you take the dash away from it, it's still great.
Okay.
The dash is just an ability that can potentially make it more versatile.
All right. Merciless Executioner. Black 2 for a 3/1. It's a creature, orc warrior, uncommon. When Merciless Executioner enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. Hulk smash.
I like it.
What if you don't have a creature to sacrifice? Does it sack itself?
Well, yes. Yeah, you will have a creature to sacrifice.
So it's removal for 3.
Yeah, it's
That's not how you want to use it, but like
well.
if you're top decking and your opponent has something awesome, you're just like, kill your guy for 3.
Yeah, basically.
And it's not targeting either.
Yes. So, like, I mean,
It just is.
like standard type implications. Not that I think that this is going to see a lot of play in standard, but like it could kill a monstrous fleecebane lion.
Indeed.
So,
Do you like this? Do you like this in draft?
I think I do.
I think I'll like it.
I don't love it. I think it's one of those.
I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm
Like-
putting it in my keep an eye file.
I mean, again, there's always the caveat of it's a warrior. It goes well in a warrior deck. Like if you're real low on creatures, you're probably not going to want to play it. If your opponent tends to be low on creatures and they're like beating you with like 1 or 2 evasion things, it might be good.
You just have to look at the context of your deck.
I mean, sacrifice effects tend to be better when they cost a little bit less in our instance, but
Very true. Noxious Dragon. These are our 4/4 dragons, and this is the black dragon. It's double black 4 for a 4/4. Creature, dragon, uncommon, with flying. When Noxious Dragon dies, you may destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. Sure. I mean, I think I'll play any of the dragons because they're 4/4 flyers, and those are hard to deal with.
yeah, I like this dragon pretty well.
Yeah.
It's a solid flyer for black.
Oh, yeah, especially in black.
Being able to kill a card with converted mana cost of 3 or less is good. It, at the very least, it kills a morph.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. You can kill a morph with it.
So
We're fine with this. I think these cards are going to go quickly in draft.
a little bit quickly. I don't think this is like a first pick.
No. But like,
This is like a 3 to 5.
okay. I concur. Orc Sure Shot. Black 3 for a 4/2. Creature Orc Archer, uncommon. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn.
I definitely like this card.
I think it just like post combat is going to screw you up. I think pre combat it's going to like make people's blocks more weird and challenging. We had a question.
Yeah, we had a question about the Noxious Dragon and whether or not it kills morphs. And the answer is that when a card is morphed, it's considered to have a casting cost of 0. It has no casting cost, so like at 0, it's less than 3. So yes, it kills morphs.
It does kill morphs. Thank you. I like this card. I think it's fun. I think the toughness is less great.
Yeah, I mean, 4 mana
Like
for
you can't. This is not something you're ever really going to attack with.
more than likely not. But that's okay.
Yeah, this is excellent with our Ponyback Brigades and our Hordling Outbursts.
Yeah, anything that generates a lot of tokens can all of a sudden just...
Oh, I'm putting this in my Goblin Slide deck. I don't have a Goblin Slide deck. All right. Good card. Palace Siege. Do you like the Siege cards in general?
I mean, I liked the white one. I didn't like the blue one.
Well, let's see if you like the black one. Palace Siege, double black 3. Did you like that segue? Double black 3 for an enchantment, rare. As Palace Siege enters the battlefield, choose cons or dragons. Cons, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Dragons, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Dragons forever. That last part I just tacked on. It's not on the card.
It's a little expensive. It's definitely a late game
I
card.
think this is a turn 5 card. Like, unless they kill it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that, like, if your opponent's beating on you...
Oh, yeah. If you're behind and you're losing, you don't want to see this card.
And you're turn 5, you're like, oh, Palace Siege.
But like, how many games have you been in cons where it's just been like, hey, I'm going to stare at you because I have no beneficial attacks.
Well,
you're going to stare at me because you have no beneficial attacks either.
Well, it does happen. This is, but I still think this card you want to see late.
Okay, I agree. I agree.
Not when you actually have like creatures to return, or you can just try to start burning them out. So, I like this card more in sealed than I do in draft.
Yeah.
Because again of the slower environment.
The cons part could be fun too, though. You know, if you have a Siege Rhino.
Cons part could be great. Could be great.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. Oh, how do you say this?
Carsey?
Carsey High Priest, 1 black mana to cast it. It's an 0/2. Creature, human cleric, uncommon. Activated ability. Is that an activated ability?
Yes.
1 black 1, tap it, sacrifice another creature, manifest the top card of your library. Seems janky.
I'm actually going to agree with her on this one. It seems janky.
It just seems janky. Like, yes, it could be good, but like, more often than not, you're I don't know.
It would almost be better if it could do itself as well. Like if it,
I'm an 0/2.
If it could just blow itself up, it might be fine.
Yeah, janky.
I mean, it's one of those block with my creature or chump with my creature. Sack it, manifest. Next turn, you attack with the creature again. Block with the manifest. Sack it. Make another manifest.
All right.
Like in certain instances like that, it can be fine.
I think this falls under janky cards that are going to beat me because I won't play them, but I'll have no answer for people that do.
I like it with that the 1 blue 2 that you can cast from your graveyard.
The Meringue River Prowler.
Yeah.
All right, I do too.
I think this guy absolutely has situational uses, but if you're just like in general, is this a good card?
What's your sound effect for janky?
I don't know.
Next card.
I don't have a janky sound effect.
Reach of Shadows, black 4, instant, common. Destroy target creature that's 1 or more colors.
So pretty much everything that's not a morph.
Yeah, and and it's destroy
This is
for 5.
strictly worse than Murderous Cut.
Well, yeah,
But it is a
the
common.
Doi,
It is a common.
and if you, it's strictly better than Rite of the Serpent.
I wouldn't say that at all.
Cheaper and instant.
Well, it's cheaper and instant, but
I've gotten a snake token like 10% of the time, and that's probably because
I'm not even saying snake token. You could kill a more for a manifest with this thing can't.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. No, good point. Good point.
I like this. Now, don't get me wrong. I like this card more than I like Rite of the Serpent. I'm not saying that, but you can't say strictly better. Like I can say this card is strictly worse than Murderous Cut because it has the exact same casting cost, has the exact same speed.
I will refrain from using comparatives.
And Murderous Cut has Delve and can hit anything. But the fact that this is common, like this is what you pay if you want to kill something straight up.
You pay 5
in this environment.
All right.
It's a good card.
Scott says it's a good card.
You're gonna play it. I think
you're gonna play it.
I think for the most part you're gonna play this card.
Give the camera a thumbs up because you're gonna play it. All right, keep going. Sibsig. Oh, that's never gonna not be fun to say.
Sibsig.
Sibsig. Sibsig Host. 1 black 4 for a 2/6 creature zombie common. When Sibsig Host enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Sure. I don't love it. I like saying Sibsig a lot, and I think I found a new nickname for the dog. Little Sibsig is sitting right next to me as we speak.
I mean, I'm willing to pay 5 mana for a 2/5 because one of those go into my hand. I mean, yes, this can be a Sultai enabler, but I just don't feel like it does enough. Like, it's a 2/6 for 5, and that feels awful to me. It's a defensive creature, but it's 5 mana to get there.
It's dirtily.
Yeah, if my Dirtles, I like them at 5/9.
I play this
2/6.
if I have Villainous Wealth, but I think that's it. Sibsig.
You keep referencing Villainous Wealth. I'm not sure the card does what you think it does. Why would you play this with Villainous Wealth?
Delve?
For reference for everyone, Villainous Wealth is 1 black, 1 green, 1 blue, and X.
Yeah.
Reveal the top, or exile the top X cards of your opponent's library.
Yeah. This is the opposite of Villainous Wealth.
You may cast... This card has nothing to do with Villainous Wealth.
I think you need to play the jackass sound. In fact, hand me the I want to play it at myself. Can you please hand me? I think I need to...
Stop trying to make comparisons to Villainous Wealth the thing.
Boy.
Or
Okay.
happen. It's not going to happen.
Next card. Oh, more Sibsigs. Sibsig Muckdraggers. Black 8 for a 3/6 creature zombie, uncommon, with Delve. When Sibsig Muckdraggers enters the battlefield, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand.
Wait, you mean the creature I just had to delve away to get this thing onto the board? That said, I actually don't hate this card. I think it's fine for limited. Again, it's one of those you want it really late. I think if you try to get it early,
you're just never going to like for reals. The casting cost is 1 black 9.
Well, yes,
because you're not going to want to delve out your graveyard because you're going to want to bring something back. So
well, you just have to keep one. You only have to keep one creature in there.
Yeah, but I'm not playing this. I like Sibsig. I like the citizens of Sibsig. I think they're adorable. They have horns coming out of their chest. I think that's an offensive plus. But
she loves zombies.
I do love zombies. Hard pass. Not a hard pass, but a pass.
I think this card is absolutely fine in sealed deck. Okay. You won't catch me dead playing this card in draft.
Dead like those Sibsig zombies.
But I mean, late game in sealed, like this is a 3/6 that brings back your best card. I'm not.
Is it like your 22nd, 23rd card? We have a question from the chat.
I think it's better than that in sealed. Now, again, I don't love this card. I'm not all like, oh my god, this is the best card ever. But if you're a slow defensive deck, I think you're going to like having this card late because it's essentially going to be a 2-for-1. You're going to get a
card
3/6
advantage.
You're going to get a 3/6 body and a card back. So
okay.
But it's way too slow for draft.
But you only want it when you're behind. Or not when you're behind, when late in
Late.
the game. Oh, hello, lover. This card is always going to get a hello, lover from me. Soul Flayer, black 4, for a 4/4. It's a creature demon, rare, with Delve. If a creature card with flying was exiled with Soul Flayer's Delve ability, Soul Flayer has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Little Sibsig is crawling under the desk right now, you guys.
I'm trying to keep Sibsig
let me get Sibsig. Hang on.
from doing that.
Oh my god. Come here, Sibsig.
We have a very mischievous beagle here that
here, Sibsig.
is
Come here. Get on
misbehaved to say the least.
Come here, sweetheart.
The first time I read this card, I cackled.
This is a cackle-worthy card.
I cackled. Because I want to make this card happen in Constructed. Like, it's not going to happen. But God, I want to make it happen in
I
Constructed.
think it'll be fun and limited, but like... And even if you don't have a creature that has any abilities, I mean, you can still...
Oh, it's terrible then.
You can still delve out a 4/4.
I mean, it's a
ask-
strictly worse Hooting Mandrels.
Let me ask you a question just so I can clarify, because as you know, I say and do some boneheaded things as it relates to Magic. If I exile a Hooting Mandrels and a Watcher of the Roost and a Dragonstale Twins to cast this,
you have a flying, double striking, trampling 4/4.
Soul Flayer. Okay, so I'm on board. I love this card. Hello, lover. Play it. Do you first pick this? Pack one, pick one.
I would.
Okay.
I would pack one, pick one.
I would too.
Take this. Absolutely.
And I think this is going to be a card when like your opponent has it, you're just like, oh, like you just deflate.
It does so much.
Oh, we have a comment. This plus Chromanticore is good game.
Oh, that's constructed. That's not in any limited environment.
All right. What do we have next? Sultai Emissary, black 1 for a 1/1 creature, zombie warrior, common. When Sultai Emissary dies, manifest the top card of your library.
This guy's weak even in a warrior deck.
Yeah.
Not
a lot of ups. I mean, no, I'm not playing it.
I don't like 2-drops 1/1s. You're going to need something that's going to boost its power. I mean,
no, let's not belabor it. We're done. Pass.
I mean,
go away.
It can chump once and then give us another chump.
Go away.
Which potentially might not be a chump.
Spin it. Go. Done.
I'm not sure she gets the point of what a review show is.
No, I only want to talk about good cards. I don't want to talk about the mediocre cards that we should never play. I just want to be like, I like this card. Okay. Listeners, if you think Scott should call me a jackass more often, please consider subscribing. Next card. Sultai Runemark. Black 2 for an enchantment aura common. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Enchanted creature has death touch as long as you control a green or blue permanent.
I have given my opinion on the Runemark cycle in general, and this is no different.
What is your opinion?
It's not good. It's you're just asking to get 2-for-1s. In this one in particular, like you're probably getting 2-for-1 on this card. This card's horrible. I personally think this card is horrible.
So if I ever go to a GP where the artist is, I want them to mod it, or what do they call that? Where they do that. I want them just to change it into the Sultai 2 for 2. 2 for 1. Tassiger. How do you pronounce his first name? Because I know his last name is the Golden Fang.
Tossiger sounds correct.
Tassiger the Golden Fang. 1 black 5 for a 4/5. Legendary creature, human shaman, rare. Delve. 2 blue-green hybrid mana. Put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then return a non-land card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand.
I love this card.
It's fun.
It's a 4/5, so it's going to survive a lot of removal. It's often going to cast for less than 6, and you are essentially drawing a card, and you are drawing a card that is not a land. It's of your opponent's choice, but I mean, it can't be too bad if you put it in your deck to begin with.
So I have a question for you, though. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 2 that you put into your graveyard. It can be anything from your graveyard.
Anything.
So as you get more stuff in your graveyard, it gets worse.
Well, but it's in Sultai, so you have delves.
But you're delving out the lands, and you're delving out the...
Yeah, this is one of those cards, another one of those cards that makes it so that you really have to be careful what you're delving. It's more important. It's more important what you're delving.
That's never been a factor, but now it's going to be.
So, like the cards that you might not want returned, you might just be like, okay, I'm going to delve those away.
Also, you should look at the art up close on this because it's really good. And that little fruit stand is a zombie person, and he has like pierced chest. Like those gold things are pierced through his chest. And
you definitely bring something to this review.
Poop?
I'm not sure what it is. But you definitely bring something to this.
Next card. Next card, please.
She likes her artwork.
I do.
She and I are very opposite there. I mean, I like the artwork. Don't get me wrong. I've actually collected a number of pieces over the years. I just don't even think about the artwork though when it comes to things like primers.
Artwork, you should consider subscribing.
If you like Magic, you should consider subscribing.
And
by the way, it's not subscribe because we don't have a subscribe button yet.
It's follow.
We actually have a follow button, and you guys are helping to get us there. Because once we have 500 followers, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream, and that's going to be hilarious.
All right, let me read this card here. Tysiger's Cruelty. Black 5, sorcery, delve. Each opponent discards 2 cards. Yeah.
Like, this card is the definition of horrible.
My friend Rakshasa told me a secret that his card is better. Wink. Wink, wink. Do you have the crickets sound effect? Or do you have a sound effect of a tumbleweed, like, rolling by?
I have multiple sound effects boards. Unfortunately, there is no cricket on this one.
This is just, like, there's so many better cards you can put in your deck.
Early, like, when you are going to want to mostly use it, it's not going to be good because it's going to be 6 mana. And late, it is...
They're not going to have cards.
They're not going to have a hand. Like, you have to catch it right in that sweet spot when they're like, maybe you have 2 cards left and you've got a few in your yard and...
Yeah. Not great. Not great, Bob.
I don't like it.
Got some followers. I think it's because they like the discussion of magic art. Thank you. I know this card. This card actually came from when I started playing Magic. Typhoid Rats. 1 black for a 1/1 Death Touch. It's a creature. It's a rat. It's pretty gross. It is the opposite of the Gurmag Angler.
So 1/1 Death Touch for 1.
It is.
I've never been a huge fan of those. They certainly have a place. But I don't subscribe to the you need 1/1s in your deck.
No.
Like 1 drops, like it's fine. it's annoying.
You bring it in for their woolly loxodons.
Awesome!
Moss followers.
Moss followers. Thank you, followers.
Awesome!
Oh my gosh.
I know. We're getting
That is awesome.
we're getting those people.
Thank you, followers. So I think you bring this in as a sideboard card, but I don't like playing this in my main deck because there's more that I want to do than play defense and lose slower.
Yeah, it's meh. I'm not gonna say I won't play it. I'll definitely play it in some decks. I just don't like playing it, I guess.
Okay.
So
Oh, break time!
wait, I already used that one.
You can use it again.
Well, I might use it again because I only have.
Do you have anything by Taylor Swift? You have that, though.
We are going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll cover red. You guys are listening to the Gamers Dome.